Satan has lied to so many of us women and convinced us that because we are women, we are limited, that our lives are not as important, and therefore we do not need to be concerned with goals in our lives. That's what the devil has succeeded in convincing us to believe, that we are less important in the agenda of God, that the man is more important in the agenda of God. And we are going to see this because God deals with the spirit man. Am I right? And our spirit man is all the same, whether man or woman. But Satan, in his crafty way, has really convinced us that we are just women and that we are limited. Most often, women do not settle. And please listen to this. Most often, we are looking at this topic that we are very important in the agenda of God. Most often, women do not settle until they realize what their calling is. If you find your calling and do not settle in it, you may also miss it. So I'm going to give you an example. When Eve settled in her calling of being a helpmeet for Adam, she did not settle there. Do you agree with me? It was God told her, you're going to be a helpmeet for my son. If only she had settled in her calling, what God told her she was going to do, probably we would not be where we are today. But she tried something else. When the devil came, now I want you, wherever you are, you can type, you can give your suggestions. But if Eve was actually a helpmeet to Adam, when the serpent came to convince her that, oh, you can eat from this fruit, nothing will happen, what will a true helpmeet to her husband do? What will a true helpmeet do? Will she have a dialogue with the devil? Will she eat that fruit before going to her husband? What will a true helpmeet do? I'm waiting to see suggestions, because if she has stayed in her calling, as I am Adam's wife, and I'm here to help him. I'm not here to overturn, he's supposed to be the head of the home. I'm not supposed to make decisions and then go to him. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying women cannot make decisions. We are looking at an example of you knowing your calling and staying in your calling. Because if you stay in your calling, you will have less trouble to deal with. Praise the Lord. So because the devil has lied to so many of us, we don't have goals in our lives. I've heard many people say that religion suppresses and devalues women. How many people agree with this? Religion, it suppresses and it devalues women. But may I say boldly that God doesn't. Religion may. And I agree sort of with people that say that religion suppresses and devalues women. I grew up in a part of Africa whereby a religion was very prevalent, and you can't really, you're not even allowed to. In some parts of the world, these people are not even allowed to drive because they are women. So it's because of the religion. And that's why I say religion devalues women, but God does not devalue women. And we must differentiate that God has a special agenda for me and he has a special agenda for you. But God's intention is not to devalue women. And let's get that straight today.